everyone, I'm Nicole Collins. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have a lot of difficulty trying to decide if I want some red wine or maybe sometimes I want some Gentleman's Jack. I'm just so indecisive. I can never understand what exactly I want. This kind of invokes everything that happens in my life. So I decided to make a restaurant called On the Fence, where you can have sample sizes of everything so that you can choose everything that you want versus having to actually make a decision. What could be better than that? So I've developed a website called On the Fence. Like I said, you can get sample sizes of everything that you want, but on top of that, you can actually vote for what you want on the menu for each month. The menu changes every month. Anyone can vote online or in the restaurant as to what they want on the menu for the following month. So I'm going to walk you through my website and walk you through all the plugins that I use to kind of help develop my website. So what you're looking at right now is my home website. It just kind of explains what we're all about. On the Fence, the restaurant you go to when you just want a little bit of everything. Order samples of our exclusive weekly menus. Really like a sample? Order the full-size dish. Like our personal philosophy here is being on the fence. Being on the fence is kind of the best place to be. So my About page just kind of tells you what my restaurant is all about and how I kind of got to this restaurant decision. So like I said, I'm a very indecisive person. I can't decide if I ever want whiskey or wine, let alone what decisions I want to make at a restaurant. So when I was always growing up as a child, I could never decide. So when I decided at the age of 27, I was going to make my own restaurant where those people who are always on the fence choosing meal can have everything that they want. You could get sample-sized portions of everything on the menu. You can have as much as you want, and if you really end up liking a dish, then you can end up ordering the full-size dish. Kind of a win-win situation. Like I also said before, the menu changes every month. Anyone could vote for what they want on the menu. We always have different various themes such as Asian, Italian, Spanish, German, Southern, and whatever else tickles your taste buds. Like we said, being on the fence is a pretty delicious place to be. So, on our website, you can see what the current menu is. For instance, this month, we're kind of having like a spicy Texas Southern theme. You can see your various options that involve chicken and fish, beef, vegetables, and dessert. There's multiple options, so you can have a little bit of everything. And then I also like to show everyone else what they can have, like what we offered previous months, so you can kind of see what's coming up in the future. I've showed the past 3 months of what the menus have been. In March, there was an island theme. In February, there was an Italian theme. And in January, there was a Southern theme. On my blog page, I've written 2 blog posts. One of them is called Never Get Too Comfortable. Basically kind of talking about always try new things, always try new foods. It kind of invokes what you should always do in your life, always trying new things. And then I've also wrote a blog post about my summer in Italy, kind of inspired what I wanted to do with my restaurant and the different foods and the different styles and times of eating that happen in Italy. And I wanted to kind of bring that over into my restaurant at On the Fence. So, like I said before, anyone could vote for what they want on the menu for the following month. We don't want just people to love their food, but we want people to be able to choose their food. So on this page, I installed a plugin. It's called Opinion Poll. It was a really easy plugin to install. I just installed it from the WordPress website. From there, it allowed me to install a new area on my dashboard. I will show you this area. If I go to On My Fence and then go to Dashboard. From here, it opens up its own area on my dashboard called Polls. If I just select that, from there, all I had to do was create a poll. And then it sent me to Opinion Stage's website, From here is super easy. All I had to do was fill out all of the information that I wanted. Once I was finished, I went down below and clicked Create and Preview. And from there, it spitted me out a short code. And all I had to do from there was copy and paste it onto the page that I wanted it to show, which I made it show on my voting page. So I'm just gonna exit out of here. I'm gonna go back to my website. And so once I installed that plugin, it shows this voting poll down here. So I selected this one just as an example to show I'm the only person that has voted so far, so that's why it says 100%. But for example, if other people were to vote, it would show at the bottom how many votes there were and the percentage of each votes that are contributed to each selection. Then on my contact page, I have installed 2 plugins that are viewable. So I installed this contact plugin. It basically just shows the hours that you're open, and it also shows the map as to where your restaurant's at. Apparently in this example, my restaurant's at UNR's campus, so that's just gonna work for right now. But then if you were to be using this in the real world, you can click on Get Directions, and it would send you to Google Maps to get your correct destination. And then there's the Contact 7 form that we installed in class together. So obviously this one was pretty easy to install. You just had to copy the short code onto the page that you wanted. The previous one, the Business Profile plugin, was a little bit more difficult. And again, just like the opinion polls, it opened up its own menu on my dashboard. So I will show you that. So it's right down below where it says Business Profile. I entered in all of the information I wanted to show, and from here I had to do a little digging to try to figure out how to actually make it show on my website. Somehow I found the shortcode. Honestly, I don't even know how I found it. I just clicked around with codes until one finally worked. I figured out with a lot of the plugins, you just have to kind of play around with it until one actually works and you figure out what you're trying to show. And then one other plugin that I installed that you can't actually see is a plugin called WordPress Converter. I realized one day I was working on my website at home, and I was actually working on my personal WordPress account instead of my one for my class. So I had to transfer everything over. So I installed the WordPress Converter, and I just used the export area, and then I copy and pasted everything, put it on the import area, and then it transferred everything over. So yeah, this is my website. I hope everyone has enjoyed, and if anyone is ever indecisive about what they want to eat, come to On the Fence.